I wasn't the first. I was just the first to push back. Professor Okafor called me back the next evening. She had spoken to 3 colleagues in other departments. 2 of them had students who had experienced similar revocations in the past. 18 months, scholarships pulled mid-degree with no clear explanation, letters citing routine reviews, phone calls that went unreturned. Both of those students had quietly arranged loans and moved on because they didn't know what else to do, and couldn't afford to lose time fighting a process they didn't understand. Professor Okafor said, "I think there's a pattern, and I think you should go to your appointment and ask very specific questions." She gave me a list. I went to the appointment with a notebook and Professor Okafor's list and the specific composure of someone who is furious but has decided that fury is not useful right now. Margaret was pleasant, practiced. She had the manner of someone who has had this conversation many times and has learned exactly how to make it feel resolved without resolving anything. She expressed sympathy about the situation. She explained that scholarship allocations were subject to annual review, based on institutional priorities and available funding. She said decisions were made holistically. I asked her what specifically in my file had triggered the review. She said the review process was applied uniformly across recipients. Asked what criteria were used in the holistic assessment. She said the criteria were comprehensive and based on institutional guidelines. I asked if I could see the institutional guidelines. She said those were internal documents. I asked if there was a formal appeals process. She paused for just a moment too long before she said that appeals could be submitted in writing to the Financial Aid Committee. I asked why that information had not been included in the revocation letter. She said it was standard practice to discuss options at the appointment level first. I wrote everything down. Every answer. Every non-answer. The pauses. The specific language she used and the specific questions she deflected. I left that meeting without my scholarship. But I left it with something else. 2 days later, I received an email from the financial aid office. It was addressed to me and to 11 other names I didn't recognize. It was intended, based on the subject line, as an internal communication about scholarship reallocation. Tracking for the upcoming semester. Margaret's assistant had hit reply all instead of forward. Attached to the email was a spreadsheet. Part 3 dropping tomorrow.